everyone, it's Darby with rejoiceandcreate.com, and although I have a few fall projects left to share with you, I couldn't wait to show you this one. Isn't he adorable? Now you might recognize him. He's actually made out of the Trim Your Stockings Pillow Box Thinlits dies, but turned into a reindeer, Rudolph to be exact, because of the glittery red nose. So we'll go ahead and use the Trim Your Stocking Thinlits dies. And for this project, we used quite a few of the dies. I used the stocking and the pillow box back for the reindeer, for Rudolph himself. And I used about an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock. It was just a half of one. And you can fit all the pieces you need to. This one's soft suede. I created them out of soft suede. I also used the, it's the cuff for the stocking. And I made that one out of the Quilted Christmas. I liked the bright red in there, and I actually used the 2 holly leaves out of the other side, which happened to be green. But we have many different Christmas papers, and certainly you could choose one that you really like. For the inside of the cuff, the white part of the cuff, and for his eyeball, I just used a scrap of Whisper White cardstock. For the jingle bell on his collar, I used a scrap of gold, and it needs to be at least about an 1.25 inches by 1.25 inches. And certainly for the glittery red nose, I used a piece of red glimmer paper that was about 2 inches by 1.5 inches. And for his antlers, I used the Early Espresso cardstock. And this is a 4 by 5 piece, but really you can do it with a lot less. I just cut out 4 of these branches and cut 2 of them down. And finally, I just need a scrap of black for his pupil. And all the dies that I cut everything with, all are on the Trim Your Stockings Thinlits die. Okay, so I went ahead and ran my last 2 branches through, and let me go ahead and recap what we cut. So I have 4 of the branches in Early Espresso. I have 1 of the toes of the stocking in glitter red glimmer paper. I have each of the hollies, a large and a small, out of the back of my Quilted Christmas. On the same piece of paper, I actually cut the collar of the collar of my reindeer, which actually is the cuff of the stocking, out of another piece of the Quilted Christmas. Also with the cuff, I created a white piece, which I'll use for the to and the from. I cut 1 of the jingle bells with the gold foil paper, 1 of the heels of the stocking with the soft suede for the ear. The larger circle I cut with white, the smaller circle I cut with black, and that's for the eye. And I think we're ready to put it together. All right, let me move him over here for the moment. And we'll prepare our stocking. And if you can see, I don't know if you can see that very well, but there's a curved line for the pillow box. Because normally it would be the top of the stocking that has a pillow box and that would close. But we're going to actually glue the pillow box together on the bottom so things don't fall out. But go ahead and take a minute now and pinch it along that score line. And it's a lot easier to get it pinched now and it fits together nicer. So if you can pinch it between your fingers and kind of just curve it around as you go. We'll do that one. And go ahead and fold the score lines on the sides and do the same thing on the bottom with the one with the little finger tag in it. As you start doing this, the box will start to curve naturally. All right, we're not going to do anything with the top one yet, because that one's going to be actually the top, and this will turn into the hanger of it. So let's go ahead and start gluing our collar together. So he's going to sit, the collar's going to sit like this on the box, just as it would in the stocking if it was turned around the other way. And we're going to glue this in the center of it. All right, now with the end of the 2 pieces of holly, I just put a little bit on the end of this one, put it down that way. Put a little bit on the end of this one, angle it off in another direction, angle that one a little bit more, there we go. All right, now I'm going to use a dimensional for the jingle bell. So I'm going to put it up on the top part of it here. All right, so let me just run a piece of linen thread through. And I'm going to double it up. On this one I didn't double it up, and I kind of like the way it looks when it's a little bit thicker. So let me fold it in half. I have a piece probably about 20 inches long folded in half. And let me just run it through the top of the jingle bell. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and stick it down here from the holly. And I'll go ahead and just tie a bow and cut the ends off. All right, so I see where my jingle bell ends, so let's go ahead and get some real red, because that's the red that's in the Quilted Christmas package, and I'm going to stamp just to and from on the label there. And again, this was from the coordinating stamp set. There we go. Put that down. Okay. So we can go ahead and glue our collar onto our Rudolph. And let me go ahead and get him upright the right way. And I'll use a little bit of Tombow for that too. And get it, you might want to get it into the corners because the pillow box curls around. Make sure you get it down into the corners so it sticks all the way and the edges don't peel up. All right, and I think I left about 1/4 inch at the bottom. You know, you can do that however it looks good to you. And we'll go ahead and hold that down for a minute because when we start curling it, I don't want the edges to curl up. All right, while that's adhering, let's go ahead and stick his nose on. Oh, isn't that just sweet? I love his big glittery red nose. That's so sweet. And let's see, I'm going to wait on the eyes and the ears for just a minute until I have the antlers in place. And how I did the antlers was, if you look at the deer, and I look at, they run through our backyard all the time, they'll have 2 antlers that go forward and the rest of their rack will go up to the back. So I'm going to make a shorter one for the front. So I'll cut 2 of these down to just 3. 1, 2, 3. And if you see the top in there, the stem continues, you can cut that off. You don't have to. If you do want to or don't want to, that's up to you. But I went ahead and did that. And on this one as well, we're going to keep the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I'm going to just trim that one down. Oh. I'm sticking to things. All right, so we got this down. And let's go ahead and glue them together. And how we did it, how I'm going to do is I'm going to put the short ones forward on both of these. So it curves a little bit forward. So they kind of a little bit curve forward. And the larger ones will go ahead and curve back. And go ahead and put some Tombow on, oh, I'm sticking to it. Put some Tombow on the bottom. And then just stick this bottom on top of that bottom and kind of angle it back a little bit. One antler, 2 antlers. All right. Now, if you're looking at the deer as well, you'll notice the ears are on the outside and the antlers are in the middle. So the antlers will be closer together. And I'm going to glue the under one first. Let me bring him back in the picture here so we can see what we're doing. So on this one, I'm going to put some Tombow again on that bottom set of leaves, and I'm going to glue it right underneath. Probably about, you see kind of where the bump and then the sole and then the toe comes in. I'm going to probably just about there. And angle them a little bit forward. Okay. And on this one, I'm going to glue it on this side. Oops, yeah, so I need to be out underneath. Make sure I'm gluing the right side of the antlers here. And we'll go ahead and put this one right here. on the heel and kind of angle it back just a wee bit. Okay, now we know where to put the eye. We'll go ahead and put that right in there. And the pupil. And I think it's cute when he looks forward a little bit, and a little bit forward and a little bit up. Then the ear, and how I did the ear was I did the stitch part of the heel on the underside and went ahead and just stuck it out the back like that because it is on the outside. And if they turn and look towards you, they have a very narrow head and they have very large ears. So we'll go ahead and put that one out that way. All right. Isn't he so cute? I just think he's adorable. I might just make a bunch of these just to have for me. All right. So now let's put them together. And how we're going to put them together, I'll move him out of the way and move him over so we have a little bit of room, is with some tear and tape. And I'll run tear and tape on both sides, on both of the tabs. And I run it from corner to corner, especially in that one corner where the pillow box is. I make sure I get some there so it sticks it together really well on both the top and the bottom. And if I have any tear and tape kind of, let me put the other piece on. If I have any tear and tape over the sides or over the sides of the cardstock, I'll just go ahead and roll it back with my finger. It's important to get right down to the edge of the pillow box so it doesn't come apart. This part is going to be the hanger for us. So that one's going to be up towards his head, which is actually the foot of the stocking. So this part with the little notch will marry up with the bottom of Rudolph, but what would have been the top of the stocking. So how I did that was I put it down. Let me put these both up so they don't stick to my paper, and I bent one of these up. Or actually, I first did it on the ear side. So you want the tag up and you want the bottom of the stocking or Rudolph's nose up that way, and then fold this one over and kind of match it up so that these points for this pillow box are right next to each other. So you have the two ellipses right next to each other, and then go ahead and just fold over your tab. Now, because that one matched, this one should be able to just fold over if you bend it in. Okay, this one should be able to fold over and just bend in place. So there we go. There's our Rudolph. All right, so let's glue the bottom of our pillow box together. All right, so I put that one down, and then I put some glue on this one. Make sure you don't put glue right where the notch is going to be. And just bend this one over and stick it down. Now, because of the way the pillow box goes, this might not want to touch that one. So what I did was I put my fingers down here, and I used my bone folder to push the one tab into the other one so that I know they would touch together and adhere, because that's important. So take a moment to make sure that they're sticking together. Okay, so it looks like these guys are adhering. I'll give them a minute to dry just a little bit. And we'll prepare for the hanger. Now for the hanger, what I did is I folded this down, and I kind of curled it a little bit with my bone folder. And then put a piece of tear and tape just right on the end of the tab. Let me fold that one under. All right, so I folded it over, but I made sure I had a little bit of a curve in there so it wasn't completely flat. And that just gave me a little bit of a hanger. Okay, so I have a little bit of a hanger, and let me take some more linen thread. And again, I have about, what would I have about? Maybe about 28 inches. and I've doubled it because I like that look of it doubled. I folded it over and stuck through and pulled it around and just tied a knot where I liked it. Okay, and that's our hanger. But that's our Rudolph. Isn't he so cute? I just love the way he turned out. And it's like a self-closing box. You can open it and it will fit perhaps a Hershey's chocolate bar in there if you want to give a little bit of a goodie. Or you can even fit, because it was made for gift card holders, you could fit a gift card holder in there and hang it from the tree. Wouldn't that be adorable? Hang it on your tree, having a whole bunch of them. So I hope you enjoyed this project and I hope you give it a try. He is very cute and you certainly could personalize him any way you'd like to. So that's the project today, a Rudolph Pillow Box made out of the Trim Your Stockings Thinlits dies. If you liked the video, I would appreciate a thumbs up. And please subscribe so you can see other videos as I post them. And if you want to see information about this project or other projects I've done, please visit my website at rejoiceandcreate.com. And until we meet again, I hope your days are blessed. Bye!